This is Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, pushing this word with true sincerity, with charity, presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice. We who are ready to live salute you. Okay, so I just want to go into this lesson. All right, and I'm gonna call it the history of grace. All right, the history of grace. And just like fear and faith are synonymous, right? All right, fear and faith go hand in hand. You really can't have one without the other. If you have faith in Yahweh Shemi outside, you have fear. If you have fear, then you have faith. Each one is the byproduct of the other, right? It's just as that is the case, so grace and mercy is synonymous with each other. All right, grace and mercy is synonymous. You really can't have one without the other. All right. So, basically, the reason why I call this the history of grace because you gotta, because one thing I've been that's been heavy on my spirit is the fact that right we are in a grace period, but as the scripture says, as this scripture is basically saying, grace is truly for the elect, man. Mercy is for the grace and mercy is for his saints. His saints are those that have been sanctified. His saints are truly his elect. All right. Right now, the 2/3 of our people. All right. The 2/3 of our people have um, foregone that. All right. They thought despite of the Lord's sacrifice, man. All right. So grace and mercy is not for them on this side, man. All right, and the funny thing is, the reason why I call this the history of grace is because you have a lot of Christians, and they talk about we're not under the law, we're under grace, which is true. But what they say that, as the scripture says, they have a zeal of Yahweh Shemi Shah, but not according to knowledge. All right, they use grace, all right, as a excuse to sin, man. And they act like grace is something that we just acquired. Okay, in the New Testament, now we are under grace. Yeah, we're under grace. We're not under the law right now, but the Lord has always shown grace and mercy to the nation of Israel, because ultimately the nation of Israel is elect. They're the chosen people, but but the the 1/3 to be saved are truly the elect, especially when you're talking about the 144,000. They're the elect of the elect. All right. So Christians act like grace just showed up, man, and they act as though it showed up for them to. Matter of fact, hold on. Right, this is Romans 6:1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? Yahweh forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? All right. So yeah, man. See, those that are gonna cash in on that grace and in that mercy are those that have turned from sin. All right. Okay. Does that mean that we totally don't sin? No, we try to avoid. Scripture says, "Flee from sin as the face of a serpent." Man, we try our best to not sin. Okay, we don't just go around breaking the law on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Blatantly, but we do use grace, right? Matter of fact, this is Hebrews 4 and 16. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. All right. And we're in the time where we need grace, okay? Because we can't walk around everywhere without fringes. All right. We can't keep all the laws. All right, where we're at here, man. Okay. But we try. That's the Lord searching our hearts, man. Because you tell a nigga that he has grace, that we're under grace, we're not under the law, well then, okay, anything I do is okay. All right. Well, how are you being conformed to Yahweh Shai? You being conformed to the world at that point. See, the Lord's only coming for those that are being conformed to Him. See, you're trying to be like Him, man. All right. You may not be Michael Jordan, but nigga, you're on that basketball court every day, man. All right. You're practicing, man. Okay. So guess what? The fact that you practice so hard in it, you might just make it into the league, my man. Okay? Where the wicked of our people are just going to be discarded. Like the nigga Theoty said, man, at 300. Be discarded. All right? You know? And grace isn't a new thing, man. Because what the scripture says, 2nd Ezra 7 and 62, I answered then and said, I know, Yahweh, that the Most High is called merciful, and that he hath mercy upon them which are not yet come into the world, and upon those also that turn to his law, and that he is patient and long suffering, and that he is patient and long suffereth those that have sinned as his creatures, and that he is bountiful, for he is ready to give where it needeth, and that he is of great mercy, for he multiplieth more and more mercies to them that are present and that are past, and also to them which are to come. Because the higher level of wickedness in the earth, the more the elect will need mercy, okay? And the stronger wickedness becomes and the weaker our bodies become, all right, the more mercies and grace we need, all right? For if he shall not multiply his mercies, the world, which is the world of Israel, which is the elect, the world would not continue with them that inherit therein, right? So, hey, man. All right. So, if he had not done that, we'll be through, man. We'll be done. We'll be out of there. Okay? We'll be out of there. All right? And basically, we would have been destroyed a long time ago. You read the account when the Lord was told Moses, hey, man, get out the way, man. I'm about to destroy these people and make a nation from you, man. And, Moses pleaded with the Lord, and the Lord showed that mercy, man. All right. But grace isn't no new thing, man. For you Christians out there, man. And it wasn't made for us to just do what the fuck we want to do, man. See, this is a grace period, man, to where we have time to get ourselves right, man, to the best of our abilities, man. That's why the scriptures talk about the bride have made herself ready, man. This is the time that we're taking to get ourselves ready, man. All right. But I'm gonna go into a couple accounts, man, of grace in the Old Testament, man. You know. Right. This is Genesis 6 and 5, and Yahweh saw that the wickedness of man was great on the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented Yahweh that he had made man on the earth. And it grieved him at his heart. And Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping things and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahweh. The Right, so yeah, Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. He was the one man that the Lord looked down upon the earth and said, "Okay, that's my man's right there, man." He was comforted, and that's what the word Noah means, Nawak, which means comfort, basically. All right, so the Lord looked down at Noah and was compelled to show mercy to him. All right, to give him what? Grace. Okay, okay, showing you that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you know, he has always showed us grace, man. By him sending waking us up, sending the remnant. As Scripture says that if Yahweh Bashem Yahushai had not left us a small remnant, we would have been like unto Sodom, and we would have been like unto Gomorrah. All right, okay. All right, we would have been like unto Sodom, and we would have been like unto Gomorrah. So Yahweh Shemi Shai has always showed us grace, and He's showing us great grace now, man. By waking us up. But I'm gonna grab a couple scriptures. Right, this is Exodus 13 and 12. And Moses said unto Yahweh, see thou sayest unto me, bring up this people, and thou hast not let me know whom thou wilt send with me. Slakia. And Moses said unto Yahweh, see, thou sayest unto me, bring up this people, and thou hast not let me know whom thou wilt send with me. Yet thou hast said, I know thee by name, and thou hast also found grace in my sight. Now therefore I pray thee, if I have found grace in thy sight, show me now the way that I may know thee, that I may find grace in thy sight, and consider that this nation is thy people. All right, so this is Moses finding grace in the Lord now, right? And he said, my presence shall go with thee, and I will give thee rest. And he said unto him, if thy presence go not with me, carry us not up hence. For wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight? Is it not in that thou goest with us? So shall we be separated, I and thy people, from all the people that are upon the face of the earth. And Yahweh said unto Moses, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken, for thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name. Right? So yeah, man. Just another you know, uh you know, just another how can I put it, instance of grace, man. Okay? Another story where grace was shown. All right? So yeah, the Lord has always shown grace, man. It's another account. That's the word I was looking for. Another account of Yahweh by Shem Shai showing grace to our forefathers in the past, man. All right? You know? So yeah, man. Matter of fact, let me grab a couple more. Right, this is Judges 6 and 13. And Gideon said unto him, O my Lord, if the Lord be with us, why then is all this befallen us? And where be all his miracles which our fathers told us of, saying, did not Yahweh bring us up from Egypt? But now Yahweh hath forsaken us and delivered us into the hands of the Midianites. And Yahweh looked upon him and said, go in this thy might, and thou shalt save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have not I sent thee? And he said unto him, O my Lord, wherewith shall I save Israel? Behold, my family is poor in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house. And Yahweh said unto him, Surely I will be with thee, and thou shalt smite the Midianites as one man. And he said unto him, If now I have found grace in thy sight, then shew me a sign that thou talkest with me. Right? And you keep reading and see the sign that the Lord showed him. It was a garment, I believe, he laid upon the rock. You read down, right? But you know, just another instant of grace being shown, man. You know, and there's more instances throughout the Old Testament, man. I can go into, you know, I basically typed in grace and did a word search and just showed where it showed up in the Old Testament. Kind of easy lesson to put together, but you know, I can continue, but I'm gonna just shorten this lesson. But yeah, man, the Lord's always showed mercy. The Lord's always showed grace to Israel, man. All right, you know, as it says in the book of Psalms, man, His mercies endureth forever, man. And right now, the Lord's showing mercy on the nation of Israel, man. All right, by raising up the prophets, man, showing us the way to salvation, man, and preparing us for the coming of the Lord. That is grace. That is mercy. All right, so hey, we're being shown more mercy and grace than we've ever been shown. I mean, because we've never been more wicked than we have been in this kingdom, man. You know, because this is the most wicked kingdom, man. I'm not saying we haven't done no wicked shit in our past life, but this is the height of wickedness, man. You know, you know. So grace is more so needed in this time, and that's where we stand. So grace isn't some new thing, nor is it something that you use for an excuse to sin, man. All right. And those that have abused grace, man, the Lord's gonna really deal with you, man. You know, the Lord's gonna really deal with you, man. I'm thinking about this character in the movie Braveheart. His asshole. He was like, "Have not I been lenient to you?" Yo, the Lord's been very lenient to us, man. So for us to abuse this grace period, man, is a great offense, especially for those that know this truth, man, or in this truth, man. To fall out and basically spit on the Lord's mercy, spit on the Lord's grace. The Lord's gonna fuck you up, man. You know. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got. I could go further into more accounts, and but I'm just ended there, man. Um, so yeah, I hope this lesson was edifying. All praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, preaching this word with truth, sincerity, with charity, presenting your bodies a living sacrifice. We are ready to live. Salute you, Shalom, Kwame Yasharala, and the Bible Ball.